World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. And yes, all roads lead to Truist Park for a beautiful night for baseball. It's game 2 of our 3-game set between the Braves and the Colorado Rockies. The Braves missed out on a chance to gain some ground last night, but they start play 3 games behind the Mets, who are hosting the Dodgers in a big series up in New York. So perhaps some ground to be gained tonight here in game 2. Hi again, everybody. Chip and Jeff, great to be with you tonight. Nick Green will join us in just a few moments. Kind of a weird game last night. Jeff missed opportunities for the Braves, who suffered their 3rd straight loss. But who better to get you going in the right direction than Kyle Wright, the National League's win leader? He's going for number 17.
Yeah, in the last 3 starts, he's been outstanding, which is a good thing when you come off a loss last night. Really, for the Braves, 3 losses in a row. This is the guy you want out there. 1.42 ERA. You see the 20 strikeouts. What I love, 3 walks in those 19 innings. For Kyle, right now, we've seen him really the last 3 games as good as we've seen him all year on the attack to hitters. Throwing the 2-seamer, throwing the fastball in on these guys. Look at that. It's a good Astros team that he threw. Right now, he's been outstanding, and we need another good start for him tonight. Let the offense bust it out.
Yeah, a line of right-handed bats in this lineup for the Colorado Rockies, including a couple of rookies. So hopefully that'll be the recipe for Kyle Wright to get the Braves turned around here in game 2 on a perfect night for baseball. We're glad you're with us. It's the Braves, it's the Rockies, starting lineup, some more coming your way after this on Bally Sports.
By Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
It's the final day of August. It's time for the Braves to turn around this modest 3-game losing streak. They will take on the Rockies, who beat the Braves last night for Buddy Black. It was a 1-run win, 3-2 the final score. Their Toyota starting lineup has Ryan McMahon leading off. He's off to a terrific start for this Colorado club at third base. C.J. Cron knocked in a couple of RBIs last night. But, Jeff, they run into Kyle Wright here in game 2, whose night is underway with a blazing fastball.
Man, we talked about Kyle, maybe his best start. Only 73 pitches in Pittsburgh through 7 innings, 2 hits. It was outstanding.
84 degrees at first pitch tonight. And to your point about Kyle Wright, he retired the last 10 Pittsburgh Pirates in order.
And he could have kept going if they really needed him to.
Only threw 73 pitches in that 7-inning stint against the Pittsburgh club up at PNC Park. As Ryan McMahon greets him here in the first inning. McMahon at 248, 13 homers, and 58 runs batted in. Good leadoff man. Sees a lot of pitches. See if Wright can calm that down here in game 2. Strike 3, says C.B. Buckner. 1 out. Good start for Kyle Wright. Partner, what are your 4 keys?
Well, exactly what you just saw. Attack. Stay on the attack. It's a team that is very right-handed for the most part. And you know what, Chip? They've not lost 4 games in a row yet this year. Don't start tonight. Got the right guy on the mound. The offense is ready to go after yesterday. Had lots of chances. Weren't able to get the big hit. I think they'll do that tonight.
Oh. I don't blame the double clutch from Contreras. That was a perfect pitch. And it is C.B. Buckner behind the plate. Rogers doesn't need any help. He had a couple of hits last night. He's knocked in 60 runs. As we told you, he's been one of the best offensive second basemen in the major leagues.
He's been good. No, Kyle's gone 3-0 on him. One thing Kyle's done great, his last 9 starts, Chip, only 11 walks.
Pounding that strike zone. And got an inside corner there. 3 balls and a strike. Kyle Wright's ERA now under 3 at the start of play tonight. 16 wins as he makes start number 25. As that one flirted with Nick Green past the Braves dugout. Luckily, Greeny was out of the way of that. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Nick's agile. He can move quick. There he is waving. He's also staying out of the sun. Smart.
And hiding behind a couple of photographers.
Yep. Make sure he doesn't get hit. Real nice, Mick.
So Rogers versus Wright, who struck out McMahon to start the game. And Kyle's payoff pitch is bounced right at first. That'll be an easy out. Good comeback from a 3-0 count.
I was just about to say, we talked 11 walks only in the last 9 starts, and great job coming back. 3-0, get right back in the count.
We've seen Kyle all year. I'd love to get your thought on what is the difference from a hitter's perspective watching Kyle Wright this year as opposed to his first couple of stints in the major leagues. What are you seeing differently from him?
Well, that obviously 3-0 count there, but besides that, he's usually ahead of these guys, and so it's tough when you have that curveball he's got with the fastball combo. It's tough to get comfortable. Now, one thing I will say too, as you watch Kyle, that two-seamer's really moving to me this year compared to last year. And then he's able to throw that four-seamer like that pitch up in the zone. So it's kind of like he's got 2 really effective fastballs. And then, of course, the great curveball.
Almost plunked Charlie Blackmon with a slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. Charlie didn't play last night. He's the designated hitter. He's spent more time at the DH for Colorado than any of their other players. He's had a great career out of Georgia Tech. Local kid, you know, he's almost playing for free tonight. The heavy pass list.
Yeah, he's got a nice contract. I think he's still coming out ahead.
Well, that's why I threw in the qualifier. Yeah. Almost. For the purple-clad Rockies here in Game 2. The 1-2 pitch. Over 200 homers, over 700 ribbies, and a near 300 lifetime batting average. For Charlie Blackmon. Kyle's missed high and away a couple of times arm side with that fastball here in the top of a scoreless first. Just missed off the plate inside. It's a 2-out walk, and Blackmon aboard in front of C.J. Cron.
That didn't miss by much, but definitely a little bit inside where he was set up. Kind of pulled it.
So Wright facing the Rockies for the first time in his career. A real oddity with as much player movement as you see in a big league organization. He's never faced the Rockies, nor has he faced any of their players in the lineup tonight. So C.J. Cron is down a strike on a check swing. It's 0-1. Cron knocked in 2 of Colorado's 3 runs last night. An unearned run, Jeff, was the difference for the Rockies in their Game 1 win. All the way to the backstop. It ricochets out to the mound, and Blackmon will advance into second base.
You know, last night, really the key to that game, Braves 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position. You know, from the first inning on, they gave themselves a lot of chances. As you can see, that one just skirts off Contreras' glove.
That's 3 really bad misses on fastballs from Wright in this first inning. So the first scoring opportunity for Colorado comes with 2 outs. And it's 1-2 for Cron, who's driven home 86 runs this year. He's having a good offensive road trip, but it's been a struggle for him since the All-Star break. Cron hitting .203. The 1-2 swing and a miss. That was an explosive breaking ball. Kyle Wright has bookend strikeouts in a scoreless first. His night is off to a good start. Here come the Braves. No score after a half inning. First of all, no score after a half inning, and Ronald is back. He'll be the Braves' designated hitter here in Game 2. Acuna leads off Brian Snitker's Toyota starting lineup. That means Michael Harris and Vaughn Grissom back-to-back at the bottom part of the order, with Eddie Rosario hitting 8th, Robbie Grossman 9th, and young Ryan Feltner, Jeff, is the man in the bullseye for the Braves offense. A man they've seen a lot, and boy, they've enjoyed facing him.
Yeah, look at that. 5 2/3, 12 earned runs. He's allowed 4 long balls for this team. He has struggled this year to a 2-5 record with a 5.87.
This young man, you might recall, made his major league debut against the Braves last September. First pitch he threw in the major leagues, Ozzie Albies hit a home run against him.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate welcome to the show for Feltner, who's 2-5 on the year.
Now, it's good to have Ronald back at that top spot. Just, you know, look, Dansby did a great job. You loved it. But, again, to me, the lineup flows nice when Ronald's in there.
That ball is hit toward the right field corner. Did he keep it fair? He did not. Just fouled at the last instant. And Acuna will head back to the plate with an 0-2 count. Look, it stands to reason. This guy's a difference maker.
Oh, man.
As just fouled at the base of the wall. But for Ronald and the Braves, who start play tonight at 79-51. They're 28 games over 500 for the year. When Ronald doesn't play, the Braves are 5 under 500. So it is good to have him back tonight. And a breaking ball froze him. Feltner gets his first out via strikeout.
That was the old backup curveball, and it kind of just caught. Ronald did not expect that.
So Dansby Swanson, who served as the Braves leadoff man in Ronald's absence, he slots to the number 2 spot. Dansby 1 for 5 last night. He had an RBI double in the second inning that started the scoring for the Braves. Dansby now with 29 doubles, one away from back-to-back seasons of 30 or more doubles as a Brave. And you hear Servant behind the plate asking C.B. Buckner, where was that pitch? Buckner said it was down.
And it was. It's no different than the one he didn't give to Kyle that first inning. Look, again, all you ask is for consistency.
Off the plate for the Braves shortstop, who's had 3 balls, no strikes. 17 homers, 77 driven in for Swanson. And there's your first Braves base runner, a 1-out walk. Feltner averages a walk every 3 innings or so. Bud Black saw a lot of that last night. The Braves had a chance to put a hurting on Urania in the first inning and let him off the hook. Hopefully Atlanta can take advantage of Swanson at first and Austin Riley in the batter's box.
Yeah, the Braves had a few times early last night to really kind of put a knockout punch in a certain way, and they weren't able to do it. In the bullpen, tip your hat to the Braves bullpen. 4 guys went 4 innings, no runs. Fortunately, they just couldn't score.
That's the beauty of baseball. You wipe away yesterday and start anew today. As Feltner turns it loose and a high fly ball toward right center. At the track and wall, that ball carries out. Austin got it good. I didn't think he got it that good, but the Braves strike first, a 2-run home run.
Well, you know, he's so strong. It's still a hot time here in Atlanta, and he's so strong he just gets that bat out front, and that ball just keeps carrying. First row. 32nd home run of the year. 85 ribbies now for Austin Riley.
And the Braves get the crowd in the game early.
Yes.
2-0.
That was something we noticed last night. It was quiet here for the most part. Now, it's not been the case lately here in Atlanta. You see Matt shaking his head. That ball was low.
Little shot towards second, and Rogers is there for the second out. And Matt Olson retired. Here's William Contreras, the Braves catcher tonight. Contreras had an 0 for last night. Starts play this evening with 17 home runs. As you know, that's the name of the game for the Braves. They hit a lot of them. And Austin Riley, an opposite field home run, something William Contreras has patented so far this year in his first full year as a Braves big leaguer.
Talk about it. He's 6 home runs to opposite field here this year. Few dead center. He had 0 last year. Much more complete hitter the second time around. That's the pitch right there. He had trouble laying off last night. Was that sinker in?
Feltner now 14 earned runs allowed against the Braves in 6 1/3 innings for his career. He trails 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Now Contreras in the driver's seat. 3 balls and a strike.
Really get picky here. Pick a pitch out you're looking for.
A couple of things in play here in this first inning. When the Braves score first, they're 58-12. That's good news. When the Braves hit a homer, they're 70-32.
Wow.
They've done both thanks to that man here in the first. And a base hit the other way on a full count pitch. What a great approach.
No, we just told you 6 home runs opposite field. Here gets to a 3-2 count. Gets an off-speed pitch. Outside part of the zone, just shoots it through that hole. Beautiful piece of hitting. Look, 3-2 is a count now where, it's tough to get big and really aggressive. I hate to say it, but more than I think 50% of 3-2 pitches now are off speed. So
Michael Harris had a hit last night. He's batting 6th and takes a strike. Asked Mike before the game, hey, where are the green shoes? The Money Mike shoes.
He's got them. Say he was going to wear them for you tonight.
Love it. Smoked into the right field corner. That's down for a hit. Contreras around second on his way to third. Wash is going to wave him. Here comes the relay. It is going to be in time. Bang, bang play at the plate. Contreras tagged out. We'll see if the Braves challenge as Michael Harris rips a double into the right field corner. And that perfect relay throw will end Atlanta's first.
Yeah, this ball comes back enough. It's hard. He's more of a catcher than base runner. If he could have gone around it, but tough break.
The Braves last year didn't use it a whole lot early, and they ended up using it later and had a lot of success. Let's take a look at our Liberty Mutual field coverage and see how the Braves have shifted percentage-wise month by month. You see where it started out in March and April at 42%. It's dropped all the way down to 21% in the month of August. I asked Walt Weiss about this, and he said it's a fluid situation. He said they have to constantly make adjustments depending on who the pitcher is and who the opposing team is. He said, how do you beat the shift? You beat the shift by soft contact. So it's a constant fluid situation. The analytics department and the coaching staff have done a great job working together.
Good report, Greeny, as Iglesias swings and drives one toward left. That's playable for Eddie Rosario, playing left field tonight.
And I'll add on to what kind of Greeny said. If you think to August, Chip, the first part of August, the Braves were in New York for 5 games. Played them here. New York's a team that, hey, they don't strike out a lot. They put the ball in play. Same thing with the Astros. So, look, you're going to play some teams where, yeah, you're going to shift more. Some of these better teams, they have the ability to shoot the ball the other way, so you'll soften that shift a little bit.
And to Nick's point about who's pitching with Spencer Strider, a big-time strikeout pitcher, there isn't an awful lot of contact anyway against him.
No, and for some of these right-handed hitters, if there is contact, it's late contact. So you want a guy on the other side of the infield.
Randall Grichuk is the hitter, and speaking of Strider, he's going to pitch tomorrow night for the Braves in the series wrap-up. And Greeny, do the numbers back that up with Strider and his big fastball?
Yeah, so if you look at the percentages by pitcher, Strider's at 20% shift rate on the season, but you go back to the Pittsburgh series, his last start.
Slow roller, Riley hard charge. Bare hand try, can't come up with it. First hit for the Rockies, an infield tapper from Randall Grichuk. Greeny, sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. So his last start, they shifted 9%. When you look at Max Fried, he's a 6% shift guy. Kyle Wright, 29%. So it just all depends on, obviously, the guys that get soft contact are going to get shifted less, but also who is on the other side. And you look at Charlie Morton against Pittsburgh, 18% and 37% on the season. Odorizzi is another guy that's a little bit different. Odorizzi in the Pittsburgh series, 54% shift rate and only 38% on the season. So, as Walt said, it's a constant fluid situation.
Yeah, I think with Max Fried, you see that low number a lot of times. Your aces of the staff like that, sometimes they have a little say, Chip, in where guys play.
And they're aces because
and they should.
They put the ball where they want it to go.
That's the whole thing. Hey, I'm trying to jam this right-handed hitter. I want someone on the right side of the infield. So when I blow them up, they're at the point of contact.
Michael Talia, the Colorado right fielder tonight, made a nice throw to Rogers, who relayed to the plate to gun down Contreras to end the Braves' first inning. Talia made his big league debut here last night and went 0 for 4. Olsen spears that. Bad throw. Great recovery. Recovers to first and not in time. What a remarkable play at short by Dansby, who adjusted in mid-flight to get the force at second.
Boy, what a play. You know, I wonder, looking back here, Matt probably should have took 2 steps over there, stepped on the bag real quick, and then been able to have a more accurate throw because Dansby would have been at the base, you know. But that's just a tough play because usually, like you said, without the shift, your shortstop's coming towards you. That's a tough throw for Mac to make because there's nobody there.
And I think that's part of the shift that isn't talked about. The different angles that infielders have to face, the timing that can be disrupted with the distances middle infielders have to move to the bag.
My one issue with the shift, and I'll say this, I think it's great at times and I think it's good. I hate how there's times where you cannot turn a double play. Where you're playing guys, you physically cannot turn a double play. And I think, look, if the ball's hit on the ground and you got a chance, you've got to give that pitcher a chance to get out of the inning with that one pitch. And unfortunately, some of these times you can't.
But I think it's safe to say on that play, shift or no, a good throw by Olsen, and
yeah,
it's
for
an
sure.
Easy double play.
But again, with nobody being at the bag, it's a tough throw.
Bouchard belts that one past Austin Riley, an 0-2 pitch. And Sean Bouchard, with his first hit last night, has his second for Colorado, and they threaten here with 2 outs.
Chip, you talk about the shift, and obviously that was a difficult situation with Matt Olson and Dansby Swanson being so far over on the second base side. But I talked to Wash about this because I've seen Vaughn Grissom out there with Wash early, and they're putting him in uncomfortable situations because they know they're going to play in that shift. Sometimes he's going to get to the bag late. How do you slow the game down in those situations? They work on this stuff every other day, is what Wash told me about the shift and being a little bit late. Back in the day, it was let's be on time every time and work on that. These guys are working on the difficult plays every single day as well.
And it shows defensively. The Braves have been excellent with the gloves so far in 2022 as this ball by Brian Servans popped up, and Dansby Swanson's going to make that play. And no further trouble for Kyle Wright, who protects a 2-0 lead early at home against the Rockies. Member of the game is Kevin Allison of Marietta. Kevin's been a member since 2011, and his favorite A-list perk is the new exclusive A-list member gate at Truist Park. Congratulations to Kevin Allison, today's A-list member of the game.
That little guy looks familiar, doesn't he?
Jacob Allison. Got to meet him before the game today.
He was up here hanging out. What a stud.
We did the right thing as responsible broadcasters, got him all hyped up on M&Ms and sent him on his way.
Absolutely. That'll keep him up through the game, and hopefully later.
Braves lead 2-0. Vaughn Grissom starts the second inning. Saw Vaughn out early today, taking fly balls in left. Ozzie Albies scheduled to begin his rehab tomorrow. And it'll be a good problem for the Braves to have. Too many good players and not enough offensive spots. We'll see if that's the destination for Grissom.
Those things usually work themselves out one way or another.
Vaughn got a sinker on a 2-0 count and swung and missed. Vaughn had a base hit last night. Infield hit, stole a base, and you guessed it, scored another run. Driven to center. Grichuk going back, still going back to the warning track. The ball is carrying well tonight, but that one just a few feet shy for Grissom. He's out number one. And now it's Eddie Rosario's turn. He drove in a run last night. Eddie's 8th double earned him his 19th run batted in. 2-0 Braves. If you're just joining us, a 1-out walk to Swanson. Austin Riley with an opposite field home run makes it 2-zip. We'll keep you posted on all the shenanigans between the Dodgers and Mets. They're scoreless in the third inning in New York with Jacob deGrom on the mound for New York. The Braves are currently 3 games behind the Mets in the East. Braves are trying to win their 80th game tonight. Get to 80 wins before September 1st. You are having one heck of a season.
Yeah, sets you up with a chance to get to that century mark number.
The only teams with 80 or more victories in the big leagues: the Astros, the Mets, and the Dodgers. Sky high fly to center. Another chance for Grichuk. And Robbie Grossman will hit with 2 outs.
I'd say these Braves hitters right now are getting into some pretty good hitters counts.
And because Feltner's had so many deep counts in previous starts, he's not a guy that takes the ball into the 6th or 7th too often. So take advantage of that if you can. He's only thrown 28 pitches so far tonight, but he trails 2-0. Feltner's a pretty heralded player. He went to Ohio State. The Gatorade Ohio Player of the Year 7 years ago out of high school. But for whatever reason, the Braves have had his number. As Grossman now behind 0-2. Got a good fastball, 95 tonight. And strike 3 will end the Braves' second inning. 1-2-3 goes Atlanta's offense. We go to the third. Braves still in front. Kyle Wright's off to a good start. So are the Braves. Speaking of good starts, that's been the story for Atlanta at home since the All-Star break. That's our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
Yeah, 14 of the last 16 home starts, 2 earned runs or less. They're holding opponents to under 200 with runners in scoring position, 4th best in all of baseball.
Wright struck out McMahon to start the game. Gotta respect this guy. He's got big time power. McMahon earlier this year hit a 495-foot home run. That's legit power.
I was going to say, is that good?
He's also hit a home run off Jacob deGrom. So Kyle Wright having good stuff against the Colorado leadoff man. As Riley moves into the shift with a 2-strike count. And he hits it right past Austin into right field for a leadoff single. Another 2-strike hit allowed by Kyle Wright.
It's amazing how you can have 3 guys clumped together and it still finds that little hole.
Yeah, 106 off the bat certainly going to help, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So here's Brendan Rodgers. He bounced out to Matt Olson in the opening inning. Certainly a different looking Colorado club without DJ LeMahieu and Trevor Story in purple and black. They've also had to deal most of the year without Chris Bryant, who was their big acquisition. Bryant's hurt again for Colorado. But that hasn't stopped him in this ballpark. That's really what's been strange. The Braves, their first ever sweep against Bud Black's club in a 4-game series at Coors Field. But the Rockies, Jeff, of late have been more than willing to return the favor.
Yeah, they've been 11-2 here at Truist Park against the Braves, who've won 4 division titles in a row.
1 ball, 1 strike. Let the Braves enjoy a 2-0 lead here in game 2. With Rodgers, Blackman, and Crone coming up for their second look at the Braves right-hander, who's gunning for win number 17. 10 of his victories have come here at home. Swing and a miss. Rodgers chased that. Kyle Wright has his 3rd strikeout. Double play would end the inning. Charlie Blackman, the hitter.
Great pitch. Just took that a little bit farther off the plate and got Rodgers to go out there and try to get it. Gets a strikeout.
If I remember correctly, Kyle's been asked in recent days what's been the biggest difference in his breaking ball. He's throwing it harder.
Yeah,
it seems.
Well, yeah, and look, that's kind of like a Charlie Morton-esque how we talk about it. It's not you're 12-6 slow curveball. The Adam Wainwright's Max Fried's. It's a hard breaking ball.
So that power spinner has 3 strikeouts. Colorado has 3 hits. And Charlie Blackmon, the batter, he walked on a close pitch with 2 outs his first time up. The last Brave with 11 wins at home in a season, Tim Hudson.
Wow.
That was 12 years ago. Play foul, 0-2 is the count.
Yeah, and like you talked about, sometimes there's guys that get wins, got great run support. You see an ERA sometimes in the 4. Not the same for Kyle. He's getting wins, but that ERA, as you said, has dipped below 3 now.
Yeah, he's getting 3.1 runs of support. On the ground, right side. Grissom will fire, and the ball dropped. Riley couldn't make the connection as Grissom tried to get the lead runner. Ball, base runner, and fielder arrived at the bag at the same time, and all hands are safe for the Rockies. 2 on with 1 out.
Right here, with the runner coming in, kind of pulled Riley to the side. And I had to imagine if after this inning, when Grissom goes in, hey, just go to first on that one. Get the sure out. If you're going to 2 like that, you got to go quick.
So it's a fielder's choice, E5 on the missed catch. And that illustrates again the difficulty sometimes with the shift. Grissom trying to get the force out with the third baseman covering the second base bag.
But also, you know, it's like anything. Grissom's not like he's played second for a long time. So that's where I think Ron Washington's bringing to. Instead of trying to make the perfect play there, just get the out.
No balls at a strike for CJ Cron with 1 out. So Nick, you got 3 things going on there. Throw, ball, base runner. Oh, by the way, you got to keep the bag, huh?
On in that situation, and when you look at Vaughn, he's going to look back and say, I should have gone to first base. The thing is, he's trying to get that double play, and he rushes a little bit, ends up choking the ball, and it goes on the front side of the base. It's a hard throw anyway, but he's going to learn from it and not make that mistake again.
Where should that throw have been in a perfect world for Riley?
So it's got to be on the outside of the base. So that came on the front side towards home plate. It's got to be on the outside. And when a runner's just barreling down on you like that, and you have to move to get on the front side, that's a tough catch. And I know they gave the error to Riley. I think it should probably be changed to Grissom, but it's just a tough play for Riley.
So when you say outside, you're talking
to the outfield
side of the bag?
Exactly.
Right.
They gave that to Riley? The error
they gave it to Riley.
On the missed catch.
And the other thing, too, when you're turning double plays like that from second base, you want to try to throw uphill. And Grissom kind of threw just straight across, and that's where you get that ball that goes to the glove side. When you throw uphill, you have a better chance to keep that on the outside part of the base.
Thing too, Graney, wasn't hit hard enough to be able to turn double play.
You got to go first.
2-2 pitch. Broken bat and curling foul to the warning track.
That's where that internal clock here, looking at it again, will tell you after a minute, you know, right here, okay, all right, just go to first. But what Greeny's talking about here is when you make that throw, you see how Austin has to go across his body with the runner barreling down. If you threw it on the outside part of the bag, he could keep that foot on the bag and make a clean catch.
Yeah, that was a tough play. But, you know, just like anything else, though, you learn from making mistakes, right? So that's one of those plays that Wash will talk to Vaughn about, and they'll fix it and they'll correct it.
2 balls, 2 strikes for CJ Cron. 2 on here. The pitch is dribbled right in front of the plate. And Contreras will make the peg to first for out number 2. Runners are at second and third now for Iglesias.
And that's a lot of the reason why. Now all of a sudden Cal Wright's out of this inning. Now he's got to bear down. He's got to get one more out here.
against a guy that's hit the ball hard already a lot in this series and enters play with the 5th best batting average in the National League. Runners second and third for Colorado with 2 outs. Paints the inside corner. That's a good place to go. Got to keep an eye on Iglesias. He's a Met and doesn't know it. What do I mean by that? He's got 28 infield hits this year.
That's how you hit 307.
It's more infield hits than anybody else in the major leagues. But not this time, as a routine fly ball to center. Boy, Kyle Wright gets in trouble.
Great
and
job.
Looks cool as a cucumber. Colorado strands 2 more. It's a 2-0 Atlanta game.
Well, Chip and Nick, we were right. Ron Washington was waiting at the steps for the young 21-year-old. And I love this. Look, it's a relaxed conversation. He's showing him how he has to reach across his body. And we watched it unfold between them. He spent probably a good minute and a half with Vaughn Grissom telling him, that's what I love. This is how you need to do it next time. He'll learn, as Nick said, and he won't make the mistake again. Love that. Love how he's able to do that. And do it right away where it's fresh.
Terrific hands-on coaching staff for Brian Snitker and the Braves. As Ronald Acuna Jr. unloads and fouls it straight back, it's 0-1.
We noticed last night, we didn't show it, but when Michael Harris ran for that ball and dove, and it got past him, went for the triple, Eric Young right at the bottom of the steps when he came in. So that's what you love, the communication and the way it's going. It's not, hey, yelling at him. You know they're busting it. It's the little things you can teach them.
Attention to detail.
Absolutely.
Is something Ron Washington preaches every single day.
Well, you're 21 years old. You know, you're going to have to learn different things of the game, when you can do things, when you can't. Love that.
Gotta love, too, that Kyle Wright was able to work his way out of that jam.
Good point. You got to love that even more.
As the Rockies have stranded 5 runners in the first 3 innings. And now Acuna and the Braves look to add on here in the home 3rd inning. Ronald struck out on a good curveball from Feltner. Ryan has struck out 2 Braves on that pitch so far here tonight. Toward right center, curling away from Grichuk, still curling. He'll dive and make the play.
Ball just hung up enough where you can actually see him get a little bit of a beat on it here. He's trying to tail away, but he was able to make this dive and catch.
Like a young Jeff Francoeur out there in center field for Colorado. 1 out. And Dansby, the hitter, he walked and scored ahead of Austin Riley's 2-run homer. Swanson riding a 6-game hitting streak. And trying to set a new personal RBI record for a single month. Dansby Swanson's knocked in 23 runs in August.
Yeah, he's had an outstanding month, and really after the first month of the season he cut down on those strikeouts, changed somewhat his approach somewhat. And it's like now he gets the 2 strikes. That's where he feels most comfortable. 62 2-strike hits this year.
Let's see if he can make it 63 here with the bases clear and 1 man out. The 1-2 pitch. This morning when I woke up and started doing the research for the game, I was shaking my head. Can you believe it's August 31st already? Seems like yesterday we were just getting started.
I know.
That stayed high. Dansby was on his way to the dugout. I think he was thinking strike 3 was coming. Instead, it's a full count.
He kind of got one on the house.
That's corked back our way. Still 3-2. Still playing Dansby to pull even with 2 strikes. And there is ball 4. Let's see if the first inning is a repeat here in the third. Dansby walked and then Riley went yard.
And he did this right here on our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Opposite field, just right of the Braves bullpen. 396 feet into that first row for his 32nd long ball of the year.
That was very close to where we're going to be sitting tomorrow night.
I know we got to get, someone's got to get us one tomorrow night.
I'm betting this guy. Austin Riley takes a strike. Yeah, we're looking forward to the bleacher game tomorrow night.
Righties can go that way, but to get it to that 5th deck where we're going to be, I feel like that's kind of like a Matt Olson, Michael Harris, Rosario Grossman, kind of where that man's standing right there is where we'll be.
Just beyond the shade of the pergola at the Coors Light Chop House. Brian McCann will join us tomorrow night. We'll have a few other special guests joining us during the telecast as Spencer Strider and Chad Kuhl will wrap up the season series between the Braves and Rockies. The pitch. Ball 2. I always wonder with a young pitcher, you learn how to pitch on your home mound in Denver and all the problems that altitude can cause. What effect that has on you when you aren't pitching at Coors Field. For Feltner, there hasn't been all that much effect. He's 0-3 with a 6.19 ERA on the road.
Yeah, that's not really the Coors effect.
No. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Like, to me, year after year, the guys that really succeed there, they can keep it down. Think about Ubaldo Jimenez, Aaron Cook had some good years there. Sinker ballers, guy that Ramon Marquez, when he's on his best, balls running in and down.
2-2 pitch. That's low and away. Full count. If I remember correctly, it was Coors Field that had the first humidor, trying to minimize the flight of the baseball. It hasn't helped him in 2022. The Rockies 56 wins, 74 losses.
3-2. See if they move Dansby here.
He's going, and a swing and a miss. The peg to second is in time. High throw and the tag on the way by. Swanson is gunned down for the moment to strike him out, throw him out, double play. Let's see if the Braves challenge this at second base. Oh yeah, got to take a look at this.
But did that foot come off?
Did he come off the bag?
They're going to challenge it. The right foot beat him here.
Well, then
Atlanta is challenging.
But did that left knee stay on the base while it was going?
Atlanta's going to challenge the call. I think this one's going to be overturned. He's clearly safe there.
See how the knee slides? I think they're going to overturn this one.
Fans see on the Braves Vision scoreboard Swanson's foot touching, then the tag, and then the knee, the left knee kind of grazed across the top of the pillow.
This is the thing, though. The tag kind of came on him, and it didn't stay on him the whole time.
Right.
It did come off. Yeah, I think this one's going to be overturned.
Well, the Rockies are all walking toward the dugout. They think Dansby overslid the bag. So again, with this play under review, clear and convincing evidence to change the out call is what's needed for Swanson to be at second and the inning to continue. He's safe there. But did the foot come off the bag, and was the left knee touching with the glove making contact with Swanson's back? I assume that's what they're looking at.
After review, the call is confirmed. The runner is out. The runner lost contact with the base. Atlanta will lose its challenge.
So the hard slide carried Dansby past the bag. He overslides. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play. For us on Bally Sports here at Truist Park, our Atlanta Hawks TV crew is here. Bob Rathman, Brian Oliver, Dominique Wilkins, Lauren Jabara, Trevor Scales, all in the Bally Sports suite here in Atlanta.
Look at Nick. There he is.
He's locked in.
I don't know what Lauren's doing.
Dominique saying, don't ever do that again, Lauren. Can't wait to see the Hawks get started on Bally Sports Southeast. Hope Bob and the gang have a fantastic season coming up.
Getting a little more rest, and then they'll be kicking it off here in another month or so.
So Kyle Wright in this fourth inning enjoys a 2-0 lead. He'll have Grichuk, Talia, and Sean Bouchard coming up. Off Grichuk's knuckles out of play. Foul. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Dansby still talking with the second base umpire Stu Schuerwater about that call at second base.
Again, the hard part is he was called out to begin with.
1-2 pitch. Man. That's a perfect pitch. Called a ball. 2-2. But as you said, you want consistency. CB has not given the low strike all that often. And a breaking ball erases Grichuk. Man, that hard curveball is really exploding.
Yeah, he just says, if you're going to take that pitch, I'll throw this pitch right here. Look how much break that has. It actually started on the outer part of the plate and ended up a good 12 inches off.
So Michael Talia, the batter, he reached on a force play his first time up. And a line drive into center field. That's a base hit. That's his first as a big leaguer. So that one's going to head to the mantle. What a moment for Michael Talia. Didn't waste any time here in the Rockies' fourth inning.
No, he was not going to get to that off-speed pitch of Kyle's. Went after it. Congratulations, and now let's see a double play.
There you go. Sean Bouchard singled on an 0-2 pitch his first time up. Moments like that, you always say about a young player, well, is that the first of maybe 3,000 in his career?
Yep.
But you think about mom and dad and the grandparents and the little league coaches and the high school coaches, all the work they did. How rewarding that must be for the young man standing at first base. As Wright a little frustrated with a couple of pitches in this inning that had the plate at the bottom of the zone and aren't getting called.
Yeah, I think actually this is a great mound visit by Contreras. I think he realized the frustration of Kyle Wright right here. And the last thing he wants to do in a 2-0 game is have Kyle just groove one when he's pitching really well.
Kyle's pitch count a little higher than you'd like at this point. But a double play would get him back on the beam here. He's behind, though, in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. There's the ground ball. There's 1. There's 2.
There we go.
Don't you love it when they follow the script? Home fourth coming up. Degrees, as you see on our Xfinity Live Look cam, the Braves enjoy a 2-0 lead. And Austin Riley, 2-run homer in the first has been more than enough for Kyle Wright to this point. Time for our Stats with Lowe's feature as Matt Olson takes aim in the Atlanta fourth.
Yeah, Matt has been swinging a hot bat last 10 games. 7 of the 12 hits have gone for extra bases, and he scored 6 runs in the last 5 games on a nice run.
Did you know there's only one player in the major leagues with more RBIs since June 1st than Matt Olson?
Austin Riley?
Nope. He's very tall. He hits a lot of home. There you go. Knew it wouldn't take you long.
Thought it was probably him, but I thought, yeah, maybe Austin. He's, you know, been doing damage.
66 RBIs for Olson since June the 1st. Terrific first season with the Braves. As Feltner evens up the count, a ball and a strike. They give Matt the entire left field line here with nobody out. And it's interesting to see how teams change their shifts and what those patterns are. With 2 strikes, they move McMahon to the first base side of second base. And sure enough, he hits it right to Rogers for out number 1. I'm sure there's a reason for it. It just seems odd.
Sometimes I think there's no rhyme or reason for it. They just do it.
But it sure is going to keep your infielders in shape.
Yeah.
As William Contreras, the batter, he singled his first time out and was thrown out at the plate after Michael Harris doubled in the Braves first.
We always talk about if the shift goes away, man, the hitters are going to be the happiest. And I said, no, I think it's the third baseman, like Austin Riley. They're going to have to run all the way across the field.
You happy about that possibility? No shifting?
I am, actually.
Are you?
I am. I get why you do it at times, but, you know, and look, you can move the second baseman over almost to the second base bag. I'm fine with that, but, you know, the game evolves and there's some great new things about this game. But, you know, at the same time, I'm sick of seeing Austin Riley, between me and you, running all the way across the diamond. I really am.
0-2 pitch. Strike 3 over the outside corner. 2 outs for Michael Harris, who doubled into the right field corner his first time out. Greeny, your thoughts on the potential elimination of the shift and maybe having all the infielders have to be on the infield dirt?
I don't know. I mean, I was against it because I sit there and go, hey, how can you tell me where I can and can't play? But I'm okay with it. I think there's going to be more action. I think they're going to adjust to it. It's going to be interesting to see how they actually implement the shift, whether it's everybody stays on the dirt or we've seen that V out at second base. You have to stay within certain parameters. Maybe you can't go past second base. I don't know. I'm curious to see how it's going to work, but I think it'll be something new, and I think baseball in general is doing a good job of implementing different things that have been good for the game.
And trying it at the minor league level so that when guys get to the big leagues, if they're implemented, Jeff, it wouldn't be totally foreign to them.
No, and look, I'm not opposed to, look, you play second base, you want to play on the grass 3 or 4 steps. I don't have an issue with that because that's been done forever. But when you're moving guys all over the place constantly, like you said, it's 0-2. Now you got to wait for him to get all the way to the other side. Then he comes all the way. It's just, you know, at some point, to me, it can get a little redundant.
2 balls, 1 strike. As Feltner goes to work. What the old school guys will say, the surest way to eliminate the shift is take advantage of what that shift gives you offensively.
Yeah, but it's so hard to do that. It's not that easy for, yes, some guys can do it. It's hard. You can't just, hey, I'm going to poke one through the right side every time. It's not that simple.
Yeah,
it looks simple.
When Jacob deGrom's throwing 96-mile-an-hour sliders.
That's what I'm saying.
Full count pitch for Harris. Well, I agree with Nick and you, Jeff. I like the fact that baseball is trying to grow the game.
For sure.
And every other sport, think about it, pro basketball, the NFL, college football, college basketball, they make rules changes to alter the way their game is played virtually every year.
Yep.
Why can't Major League Baseball do the same? And that in concert with the proposal of a pitch clock, which will, many feel, help the pacing of a major league game. That might be coming too. It's been very successful in the minor leagues.
I think it's coming. Now, whether it's next year or 24, I think it's wait. We'll see. But I think that's coming too, and I'm for that.
I don't know a broadcaster that isn't. Quite frankly, that's fouled away again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And look, it's not about time of game. I think.
No, and see, like the one rule I hate the 3-batter minimum.
Do you?
I don't like it. You know, if you only have a certain amount of pitchers, you want to blow them for one guy, go ahead. But I think about the great lefties like the Pedro Felicianos, guys that would come in the situation one-on-one, especially if you implement the pitch clock in some of this, and you take away September, like we talked about, you can only have 14 pitchers. Then if you want to keep burning guys for one batter, eventually you're going to have nobody in the pen. They can't do that every night.
Michael Harris, terrific at bat. 3rd walk for Feltner, and Harris with 17 steals and 17 tries is aboard with 2 out.
You know, we talked about this today on the pregame. I said one thing that's great about Michael Harris to me, why he's so successful and hasn't been thrown out. He's smart. He knows when to steal. He picks out a good pitch. Him and EY will talk. He's not just going to go. He's going with a purpose.
Chase Utley was once 23 for 23 in stolen bases. Maybe Harris can match that.
Well, I said you looked on the thing. I think the other 2 that had a lot, JT Realmuto, Tim Anderson,
right,
in Chicago, and I said, you know, 3 very smart baseball players, high IQ guys that know how to play the game.
I'll say this in the spirit in which it's intended. I'm surprised that Realmuto is on that list, not because he's not a great athlete, but he's a catcher.
It's unbelievable.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Shows you how athletic he is. We'll have to ask the guy that's doing the game with us tomorrow night if he could have got 17 stolen bases.
How long would his career have been? It's okay to laugh, Jeff. No balls and a strike for Vaughn Grissom. Brian McCann will join us tomorrow night.
Man, it's going to be fun.
Can't wait.
Could be the last telecast we ever do, but it's going to be, we're going to go out on top.
Well, he's doing his homework. He's ready to go.
He is.
As this one is cued slowly to the right side, Rogers will flip to first in time. And that will retire the Braves in inning number 4. It's 2-0 in game 2.
Good tonight as well. When you look at his success, it's all about the curveball this year. Let's take a look at our Synovus Get There feature. We know how good that curveball is. By the way, he's at 35% curveball usage on the year. That's second most among qualified candidates. And you look at who's number one, that's Charlie Morton at 37.9%. Look at the horizontal break on these curveballs. I was talking to Charlie Morton earlier about this today because there are things that are so similar between the two of them. And Charlie said the arm slot is very similar, the arsenal is very similar, and when you have a lower arm slot like these two guys do, it's just natural to be able to throw that curveball without having to try to manipulate the curveball, and that is why it's so successful moving right to left with these guys. But the other thing, fellas, that I think is so important for Kyle is able to throw it first pitch strikes and able to throw it for 2-strike pitches, whether that's a strikeout pitch or whether that's a ground ball. So he's really developed into a phenomenal pitcher, but that curveball has been the key.
Well, and to your point about first pitch strikes, Greeny, he's 12 out of 18 doing that tonight against the Rockies. As Brian Servin.
Where the? Come on.
I guess that sounded like a ball.
Got to have that pitch. It's about 5 now.
On the ground, Dansby's got that, and a long throw erases the Colorado catcher. Had the Rocky hitter out in front of a curveball, and there's out number 1. That's got to frustrate you to no end. Hitter or batter, hitter or pitcher, doesn't matter. A ball that's called a strike and vice versa.
Yeah. We just leave the hitter. Same thing with the pitcher, not knowing, you know, if you're going to get that call or where it's at. It can be tough.
As we mentioned in the opening comments, this is a right-hand dominant Colorado lineup. 2 of their 3 men who can hit left-handed are batting first and third on the lineup card. Here's McMahon. Rockies have 4 hits. A couple of them have come with 2 strikes, including McMahon's 3rd inning single. Another curve. McMahon, a 13-homer man with 249 for his average. And that's been the one pitch that's been problematic for Kyle tonight. That fastball has been erratic arm side.
Arm side just tailing up and way out of the zone.
But that has erased just about everybody. It's been filthy. Another strikeout for Kyle, 5 of them in the game.
Man, look at that perfect location. As a hitter, so tough to lay off that pitch. It looks so enticing, and by the time you swing, it's gone.
Can you hear that pitch when it comes by? Do you hear the hissing of the seams?
I mean, you hear it when you swing and miss.
I don't know what the spin rate is on that pitch for Wright tonight, but it is really humming. As Brendan Rodgers digs in, 69 pitches for Kyle Wright with 1 man to get here in the 5th. And number 70 will turn into a little roller and send us to the home half. Atlanta in command of game 2, 2-0 your score. The world champs are back home here in Atlanta for Braves baseball, brought to you by Truist. Nick Green is with us somewhere at the ballpark. Chip and Jeff upstairs with a 2-0 game. An Austin Riley 2-run homer, and Kyle Wright 5 innings of shutout ball. Eddie Rosario, Robbie Grossman, and Ronald Acuna Jr. are coming up next.
I tell you, I'd love a couple more runs here. It'd make me feel a little bit better and give Kyle a little breathing room.
So again, this is the area where Feltner begins to fade. He's pitched fewer than 5 innings in 5 of his last 7 starts, and 6 of 12 coming into play tonight. He's thrown 69 pitches through 4 innings. Ball 2. Mets and Dodgers, bottom of the 6th inning. New York 2, LA 1 at Citi Field. And he didn't get that. It's 2-2. Final day of August. Rosters expand by 2 before tomorrow's game.
But 1 pitcher, 1 position player.
Correct. And Eddie chased one up and out of the zone and strikes out. Robbie Grossman's coming up, but first a word from the Home Depot.
Scan the field and read the product review. Check inventory status and place your order easily in the Home Depot app.
Here's Robbie. He struck out looking. A curveball got him his first time. No promises, but my assumption one of the players that will join the roster tomorrow is Jesse Chavez.
Yeah. Tell you, every time he puts a Braves uniform on.
What a whirlwind season for Chavez. Started with the Cubs, to Atlanta, to the Angels, now back to the Braves. I hope everybody in the clubhouse puts on those stickers, you know, hello, my name is, just in case he forgot after going west at the deadline. That says a lot for a guy who's been around and has played for as many organizations as Chavez has. When you read the comments from the Braves pitchers and players alike, how important a role he played on this team speaks volumes as to how great it'll be to have a man they call the coach back in the Atlanta bullpen.
Well, and you know what, he's got grit. You know what he can do in September and into October. So, I think it's a great piece to have. He can throw 2 innings. We've even seen him have a spot start.
Austin Riley and Ryan McMahon should have Fitbit endorsements. They are getting their steps in. All the constant shifting. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But it's worked out pretty well. Just 7 combined hits. The big blow, the Riley first inning home run for the Braves, who have just 3 hits in the game. They have, however, received 3 walks from Feltner. And that one on the ground, a fair ball. Nice play by Crone. Race to the bag and a near collision, and he got there just ahead of Robbie Grossman, who wants the Braves to look at this.
Yeah, the problem is they've already challenged. They got nothing left. So whether you wanted to or not, let's take a look. I think he might have just beat him. Yeah.
That had the makings of a 3-car pileup.
Disaster, yeah.
Everybody came away unscathed. 2 outs for Ronald. He has struck out and he flied out. A diving grab by Randall Grichuk in the 3rd inning. And he unloads high in the air, deep center field. Ronald Acuna with a towering home run.
Well, that was a tape measure shot. Last home run for Ronald, August 13th down in Miami. This was a no-doubter first pitch. Look at just a spinner right down the middle. As a hitter, those are the pitches your eyes just light up.
Yeah, he liked the result of that. That's the best coverage in the game. Our T-Mobile coverage cam, Ronald Acuna Jr. to the deepest part of the ballpark. And there's some of that breathing room you were talking about. 2 homers for the Braves, a 3-0 score.
Yeah. Kyle Wright, just a little bit of room.
Dansby Swanson has walked twice. He has scored once.
Glad he doesn't drink coffee.
0-2 pitch. He's way outside. A ball and 2 strikes.
That was 444 feet for Ronald.
Almost as high as far.
Yeah, that's what was so impressive.
So the Braves have an add-on run here in the 5th inning. And Dansby Swanson is rung up on a questionable call, and that will retire the side. Ronald Acuna Jr. has hit his 11th home run. That extends the Braves' lead. A shot to straightaway center. And after 5, the Braves lead the Rockies in Game 2. Sunday, the Marlins are here. We'll wrap up a weekend series and the homestand with an exciting kids giveaway. The first 3,000 kids at Truist Park get a pair of Ronald Acuna Jr.'s replica sunglasses. You'll want to get here early to get this one-of-a-kind giveaway. For all the ticket details, go to braves.com/promos.
You know, one of the stats that I love with Kyle Wright, number 3 hitters this year, hitting a .169 off him with no extra base hits.
That's going to continue as Charlie Blackmon rolls out early in the count. 1 up, 1 down. C.J. Cron coming up. First a word from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
8 ground ball outs for Kyle Wright with 1 out in the 6th inning. That's a recipe for success as he tries to win his 17th game. He leads 3-0. Again, I don't know how the awards are going to go. I don't know how many victories Kyle's going to finish the season with. But many still discount the win for starting pitchers. Well, Kyle Wright, if he wins tonight, will take over the National League lead by himself with 17. Tony Gonsolin has 16 with the Dodgers, and he's hurt.
Well, again, I think you can discount a win when you look in that ERA's at 4.5, and you're like, man, this guy's getting. But when you have under a 3 ERA, you've earned everything.
Justin Verlander, also banged up, has 16 wins and paces all American League pitchers as that one sneaks through the left side for a base hit. Iglesias, the Colorado shortstop. He's 0 for 2. This guy's a good hitter.
He's got a short, compact swing. Don't try to get too big on it. I mean, I know he's got some infield hits, like you said, but you hit 306, you're still hitting 306.
And look, it's not the Coors Field effect. This guy actually has a better average away from Colorado than he does at home. He's hitting .349 on the road, .264 at Coors Field.
Man.
80-point swing.
Got to be the only player to ever do that.
Right.
I'm going to be honest, with that many ABs. I mean, you dream of going to Coors Field for 3-4 games.
And there's an interesting stat on this guy, too. When the chips are down, he's done a great job in run scoring situations for the Rockies. I'll explain after the 2-1 pitch, which is on the ground. Riley off his glove, deflects to Dansby. They get the force. How about that happy bounce?
Wow.
5-6-4 erases Cron at second. Iglesias aboard with 2 outs. That almost found a hole.
And he'll take that right off the tip of Austin Riley. Dansby gets it to Grissom. No chance to get Iglesias, but gets the main out.
So that note on Iglesias doesn't factor into the decision here. Money players cash in with runners at third and less than 2 outs, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a huge stat. Iglesias is 12 for 17, 3 sacrifice flies, and no strikeouts.
Wow.
In that very important run scoring opportunity stat. And we hope he won't improve those numbers the rest of the way in this series. It is knuckled softly over the netting foul for Randall Grichuk, and Kyle Wright rolling merrily along. He's ahead 0-2. Love to get Kyle through 7 innings. The back end of the Braves bullpen is rested and ready to go.
Yep.
Chopper up the middle. Dansby gives ground. He's going to flip to Grissom, who's there for out number 3. Wright is through 6 with a shutout in game 2. Stars dueling in this series in Atlanta. C.J. Cron and Austin Riley. Let's compare them, Jeff. Our player comparison brought to you by our friends at Landmark.
Yeah, you see that. Really, the difference here, CJ has struggled kind of in the second half here, and Austin is really peaking at the right time. And of course, the Gold Glove defense that Austin plays. But CJ has had a really good year in Colorado.
So uncharted territory for Feltner. He's into the 6th inning, but he trails 3-0. Austin Riley with a 2-run homer greeted him in the 1st inning. That gives Riley a 4-game hitting streak.
Yeah, Riley leads all hitters with 70 extra base hits this season.
Austin Gomber gets loose in the Colorado bullpen. He's a lefty. And that's up and, oh, wow. My bad. Called a strike. It changes the calculus here. 2-1 pitch. Full count.
He better not ring him up on that one.
Pitch number 90. And he pulled the string. He's had a good curveball tonight. And he's got 7 strikeouts. And Matt Olson, the batter, he's played pepper with Rogers twice. So Matt is 0 for 2 and looks for his first hit in the series.
Look, even if Feltner gets the loss, he's going to at least say, you know what, I improved upon my first 2 times. It's tough to keep this offense down.
So 7 strikeouts for the kid right-hander for the Rockies, matches his career high. And Olsen skies the first one towards shallow left. Bouchard comes in, much steadier footing tonight than last when he nearly slipped, and 2 are out.
And before we get to Contreras, let's take a quick message from Landmark.
To celebrate our 40th anniversary, Landmark announces 40 days to save. Nobody beats the Giant. Nobody.
Always the best deal. Always.
William with a single, his first time up. It snapped an 0 for 9. Down to more off-speed stuff here in the last couple of innings. It served him well. 3 strikeouts among the last 5 outs for Ryan Feltner tonight.
And with those home runs by Acuna and Austin, now 66 for the first 3 in the order, 62 middle part, and 66 7 through 9. It's quite production.
Ryan Snitker and the Braves are pushing toward their 80th win. Again, 80 wins before September 1st. Real good. Deuce is wild for Contreras. That one is hit the other way. 2 singles to the right side for William. Boy, don't you love that?
You do, especially with 2 strikes. And you get a 2-0 count. I get you're trying to hit to the big side of the field, but here stays on it nice and just shoots it to the right side. For his second base hit tonight to that right side.
So Buddy Black is on his way to the mound. He's telling Ryan Feltner, good job. Young man tied his career high with 7 strikeouts against the world champs, but a couple of homers have turned the lights out on him, and we hope the Rockies in game 2. 6th inning, Michael Harris is going to come to the plate to face Austin Gomber. Michael's on a nice run, so much so, Jeff, he's our Who's Hot feature presented by Texas Pete.
Yeah, that game hit streak. He's reached base safely in 16 of the 30 plate appearances. He's hit .333 in August, Chip. .444 with runners in scoring position this month.
Man, the ball exploded off his bat in the first inning. A double into the right field corner. The Rockies executed a great relay throw to take away an RBI. So now it's lefty-lefty with Austin Gomber. June was not a fine performance for Gomber against the Braves.
Kind of done some starting for him too this year. It's not gone as well.
I'm guessing that will always be the challenge for the Rockies, right? Starting pitching, finding enough of it.
Yeah, I mean,
developing enough of it.
These righties hit .307 this year against them, so you're going through the lineup 2-3 times. It's near impossible.
Longest relief outing of Gomber's career came Wednesday. He went 4 2/3 innings scoreless against the Rangers. Here he's trying to get him out of the Atlanta 6th, and he did with a swing and miss, as Michael Harris is retired on strikes. Kyle Wright back to work. We go to the 7th. About up the Dodgers and the Mets. New York struck first in the third inning. Starling Marte hit a long home run. Mookie Betts has homered for the Dodgers. Brandon Nimmo took away a home run in what's still a 2-1 game. The Mets batting in the bottom of the seventh inning. There are your standings. The Braves 3 games behind the Mets, but a very big lead over the Phillies for the top wild card spot in National League postseason potential play. Kyle Wright goes to work in the seventh, bottom part of the order. 7, 8, 9 coming up. Michael Toglia will get things started. First big league hit came against Kyle Wright in the fourth inning, so he's 1 for 2 in the show tonight.
And that time Kyle threw him a little backdoor curveball.
They learn their lessons quickly, don't they? Launched out a play foul. It's 0-2. Well, if the Braves can win this one, and if the Mets win, we will have gone an entire month without gaining any ground in the division. The Braves ended July 3 games back. If the scores hold in New York and Atlanta, we'll start September.
Wow.
3 games back. One ball, 2 strikes for Michael Toglia, the Colorado right fielder tonight. Swing and a miss. Kyle Wright gets the first down in the 7th inning. 6 strikeouts.
That's what you love. He has the ability. That one's not. The first one was kind of that get me over backdoor. This one more of a slider type. Stayed down in the zone the whole time. Got a swing and miss.
So that's strikeout number 150 for Kyle Wright. And Nick Green, that curveball, as you said, has been spinning mightily here in game 2 tonight.
Yeah, it's been so good. And I just want to follow up on the conversation I had with Charlie. He said he felt like Kyle throws his curveball with as much conviction as he's ever seen. And I thought that was a big statement, knowing how good Charlie is and what all he's seen throughout his career. But you can really see it once he gets to the top of his delivery. From there to the finish with the curveball, the execution and the conviction with that curveball is absolutely nasty.
Well, there are many who say Kyle Wright is Charlie Morton 2.0, a younger version of the veteran Brave starter. With his stuff, you can see why.
Yeah.
And that got a big piece of Contreras behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And C.B. Buckner is going to give William a chance to recover. And you can understand why. Two balls, 2 strikes for Bouchard. Pitch number 93 and fouled back. One thing I'm noticing about the Braves outfield alignment, Michael's playing a lot like Andrew Jones used to. He's playing shallow.
I love that because I've told you, I think he goes back better on the ball. He's still getting used to playing in all these stadiums and coming in. So I like the idea of him playing shallow.
You had a theory on that in your playing days. I know something Tim Hudson talked about.
Well, I think, look, as I got older, I scooted back. I felt like
Sure.
as you lost a step. But I remember Tim Hudson, every time he'd pitch, he'd tell me, look, I don't want bleeders. I'm trying to blow people's bats up, jam them, They hit it over your head off the wall for a double, triple, that's my fault. But if I break their bat, I want that ball caught.
Kyle not happy with that. Missed inside. Ball 4 to Bouchard. And with one out, Brian Servant is coming up. Colorado's had a lot of base runners in this game. That's only the second walk Kyle has issued tonight. This is what has made Kyle a potential 17-game winner this year. When he gets into trouble, he's able to pitch himself out of it. As he gets close to 100 pitches, there is action now beginning in the Braves bullpen. On the ground, right to Dansby. The shovel to Grissom for one, and a perfect turn will end the 7th inning. Kyle Wright having a great night. Braves are having some fun. They're up 3-0 as we send you to the stretch. That's presented by Synovus.
The Stretch is brought to you by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
Welcome into the Stretch, presented by Synovus. Trevor Scales, Peter Moreland, and Gordon Beckham outside kicking it on the battery with you. And if you hadn't heard, got a little baseball in the bleachers going down tomorrow to wrap up this series against the Rockies. We got Brian McCann joining the booth for the call, or I should say the bleachers for the call. I know we can talk baseball all we want to with him, but you got some advice for him, fellas, on what it's like to be up there?
I'll give you the same advice that they gave me. Here's the microphone, there's the camera, don't swear. Simple as that. And if you be yourself, Brian, everyone is going to absolutely adore you, because we all do.
Biggest thing for me, Brian, is Jeff Rancor, huge ego, right? You just got to pick your spots, okay? He's definitely going to want to have his airtime, okay? So allow him his space. Chip will be fine. Just do your thing.
Speaking of fine, check out that hairdo on that guy right there. Check out that grill. Any wonder you go and get tooth surgery right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's the reason why you go get your teeth fixed.
But above all else, Brian, have fun. We got some more Braves baseball on the other side of a quick word from our friends at Synovus.
Opportunity won't always come to you, but with Synovus as your bank, you can always go towards it. Synovus, get there.
Well, that was kind of interesting what those guys had to say out there about tomorrow night. I tell you this, Gordon can sit there and talk about Big Eagle. He needs a bigger shirt. I mean, good Lord, that's a schmedio.
I think he got it from Jerome.
Jeez.
Shots fired.
We'll have to talk later.
From the Braves live set. This is Alex Colomé on for his 47th
He knows where to
game.
find me.
What a job by Kyle Wright, partner. 7 innings and a couple of double play balls. Low 90 pitch count. Had some base runners. Had to deal with an erratic strike zone, as everybody had to tonight.
Yeah.
But Kyle Wright's on his way to leading the major leagues in wins as he chases number 17.
You know, when you think about what was most impressive to me about Kyle tonight, really didn't get rattled with that strike zone. At times, you know, you saw the frustration a little bit, but he just said, all right, he'd make a pitch, got a ground ball, and that's kind of, to me, the maturity of what he's kind of taken to the next level.
Yeah, whether it's men on base or a strike zone or a pitch you don't get. Tom Glavine's talked about this an awful lot. All you can do is control the next pitch you make.
Yep.
And I agree with you 100%. And the results speak to it. Kyle has taken a gigantic leap forward for the Braves in what's been a remarkable season for him. 7 shutout innings tonight in game 2 as Alex Colomé, back from the injured list, out of the Colorado pen. Vaughn Grissom greets him. Lower third for the Braves coming up. That skipped up there for Vaughn, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Bleacher game tomorrow. Brian McCann's getting his scorebook ready for his debut tomorrow night.
He better.
And he'll have a treat, not just being with Jeff for all 9 innings, but he'll get to watch Spencer Strider in person. He's got the ball for the Braves. Chad Kuhl will be on the mound for Colorado. As this one is queued up the middle. Rogers surrounds at second and throws to first and just in time. And the Braves already burned their challenge, so no chance to try to change this call at first. But Rogers, a good defender. 15 defensive runs saved, they say, for the Rockies. That was a heck of a play.
Yeah, it was not hit hard, but came through and got it nicely, and he got him. Just got him.
It's amazing how often the umpires get those bang bang calls right.
Yeah.
I know we talk about what they miss. That's just the nature of the game. But we get a chance to slow the play down, look at it at replay, 2 or 3 different angles, and more often than not by a great margin.
They're pretty right.
They're right. It's a nice call by Manny Gonzalez, who will have the plate in the series wrap up tomorrow. Here's Eddie. And fouled away. Rosario is 0 for 2.
I just got a text from Jerome. He didn't appreciate the comment about the medium shirt.
Well,
he's sitting at home laying on the couch getting ready for Steelers football, and
Jerome should know any publicity is good publicity.
Hope he's well.
Maybe he borrowed it from Birdie.
That's a good point. You can't get tighter than that was. Line
drive toward right. And Tolia makes a nice catch in front of the wall for out number 2. The MLB Ballpark app completes your next visit to Truist Park. Buy and manage game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Yeah, I miss old Jerome. Hope he's doing great.
J-Bone.
Hope we'll see him at the ballpark before season's end, as Robbie Grossman is the hitter. Robbie 0 for 2. 2 home runs for Atlanta tonight. One by Riley in the first, one by Acuna in the 5th. And Kyle Wright's 7 innings of excellent work has the Braves in front with 6 more outs to get. As we said, this is the final day of August on the championship season schedule, and on the calendar too, for that matter. But point being, when September rolls around, it seems like everybody, for whatever reason, just has a little extra spring in the step.
Yeah.
Because the games will matter that much more because there's so few of them left.
And the teams that are losing know their season's about to come to an end.
That's part of it.
It's time to plan a trip on October 6th.
But for Atlanta, look, these are hugely important games.
Yeah.
They're in a stretch of 11 of 14 against sub 500 clubs, and that includes our upcoming road trip.
But it can be tough. You got the off days headed out west. You know, it can be tricky to maneuver that sometimes.
And by the way, the forecast for the West Coast, the start of the trip in Oakland, triple digits.
Gorgeous.
Expected on Monday when we get set to face the Athletics. 3 balls, no strikes from Colome. And Robbie takes a 2-out walk. And here's Ronald. Home run had to feel good for the Braves DH, as Jeff mentioned, his first since August 13th. And good to have him back in the lineup after the knee flared up on him on the road trip in Pittsburgh and cost him playing time against the Cardinals. Ronald did not play here last night, and he's up for a 4th time here in the 7th inning in game 2. He's got a 6-game hitting streak that he will potentially take into tomorrow night's action. Grossman leans at first with his lead. The pitch, a strike. Servin fortunate to catch that. That ball backed up badly on him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves trying to cool off the Rockies, who've won 2 straight on the road. They have not won 3 straight road games since last September.
Well, I was going to say, when you've only won 20 games on the road this year.
And in their last 7 road games, 8 if you count tonight, they've scored a grand total of 12 runs. Wow. 6 of those runs came in 1 game. A ball and a strike with 2 outs. Servin couldn't save that one. That's the old 55-footer. Very wild pitch. RBI chance for Acuna.
Thing was just spiked.
Servin tried to backhand that ball. As it bounced behind him to the bricks, an easy advance for Robbie Grossman. Braves are trying to snap a modest 3-game losing streak. They lead by 3 as Acuna waits on a 2-1 pitch. Cutter, 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 cutter is what Colome features. And Acuna couldn't connect, and that will send us to the 8th inning. Top of the order coming up for Colorado. The Braves enjoy a 3-0 lead.
Atlanta Braves Baseball is brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Xfinity, supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi, unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
What a night for Kyle Wright. 96 pitches, 63 strikes, 7 shutout innings. He's on his way, Jeff, to leading the big leagues in wins.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the great thing when you do that, you go 7, you turn it over to the back end of the guys you want out there. This is one guy after Sunday night in St. Louis has been dying to get back out on the mound.
And it was a tough spot for the Braves. They had the bullpen set up the way they liked, but they used A.J. Minter 3 straight days for the first time in his career.
Yeah.
A home run tied it, and then a home run ended it in favor of St. Louis.
Look, I told you, some of these guys, sometimes you got to have a short memory. You got to turn that over. Dansby hit a 3-run homer against Ryan Helsley, who, as I've said, behind Edwin Diaz, probably the 2nd best bullpen guy in the league this year.
Yeah, that was what's so uncharacteristic about the 3-game losing streak for the Braves. They led all 3 games.
Yeah.
But with 6 outs to get, maybe they can get that out of their system as Minter unleashes a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yep, looks pretty good tonight.
Yeah. I was talking with Bud Black about bullpen usage and pitchers this time of year for good teams, bad teams. He is definitely in favor of not having 40 men available in September because of the integrity of the game. Look, figure out who your best 28 guys are and get after it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that too. Some of those September games would drag on.
The hard part of that is As Rogers hits one down the third base line, Riley settles and throws a strike. Strong arm play, 2 outs.
This is where Austin Riley's, sorry Chip, I'll let you finish your thought, but this is where Austin Riley's time clock is so good. Knows he's got time because he got to it quick, takes the extra 2-3 steps to make sure he can set and throw a strike. Knows he doesn't have the fastest runner. Those are little things. Yes, he's talented, but the smarts out there, he's got those too.
Kind of reminds you of a play that Nolan Arenado
Absolutely.
would make at
they know
third base.
exactly how much time they have.
As Charlie Blackmon is the batter. I think the challenge for every manager now is what are their bullpens going to be like as far as workloads are concerned? With only 13 pitchers on your staff and now 14 starting tomorrow, it really does take a great deal of chess master skill to keep your pen fresh, get the guys in the game you need to win a big ball game.
For sure, but
not blow them out.
And I think this also, though, hopefully will put an emphasis on some of these starters getting deeper into games, not coming out after 4 1/3.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike for Charlie Blackmon. Raisel Iglesias is up in a 3-0 game.
Yeah, I thought he did.
1-2. Jeff Nelson rings up Charlie Blackmon. Two outs on 7 pitches and a 1-2 count for the Rockies DH. And a swing and a miss. That is as good as AJ Minter has been all year. 3 up, 3 down. 3-0 Atlanta. Have taken the dog days to new heights. That is their new therapy dog, Strider. And look who he got to meet before the game today.
I love it.
They both look great in those green capes, don't they? They're a better dog than a golden retriever.
And that's outstanding.
As you check out our Discover matchup, Spencer Strider will take us into September versus Chad Kuhl tomorrow.
Yeah, you can see that right there. You love the matchup again, but like anything, you don't play it on paper. You got to go out there. Hopefully he can do exactly what Kyle Wright did tonight.
7 shutout innings. We'll take that anytime you can get it.
Yeah.
As we head to the home 8th, Swanson, Riley, and Olsen are coming up for the Braves. Jake Bird is the next Colorado pitcher.
Tossed 1 2/3 scoreless Thursday up in New York.
Bird is one of 4 Rockies to make his major league debut. That took place on June 16th against the Cleveland Guardians. He pitched to a 2.77 ERA at AAA Albuquerque. That's good work. That's a hitter's ballpark. As this one tapped back to the mound, and Swanson's retired. Austin Riley coming up, but first a quick word from Zaxby's.
Try Zaxby's chicken finger plate with tongue torch, Zax sauce, or any of our sauces.
Austin Riley is a 2-run homer. Good to see him with an extra base hit. RBIs have been few and far between for Riley in recent weeks. But as we end August, he heads into September with 32 homers and 85 runs batted in.
Yeah.
On the ground and a diving play. Iglesias, what a slick play to take care of Riley. Wow. Braves thought Crone came off the bag at first, but again, they've already burned their challenge.
Yeah, but this is the late innings where you can request one. But they decided not to, which means he held the bag. Yep. Close enough, at least.
Yep.
Good play.
That guy could play short.
Yeah.
Olsen smacks one off the screen foul. Matt's looking for his first hit of the night. The Mets did hold off the Dodgers 2-1. DeGrom the win, Diaz the save. So the Braves have to win tonight to stay 3 off the pace with the Mets. As you saw on the Bally Bar, the Phillies are in Arizona to play the Diamondbacks. Well, they've got some terrific young players coming up through their minor league system now. Braves have a nice lead over Philadelphia for second place in the division. We've got a couple of series left with the Phillies. If memory serves, 4 seasons in. One ball, 2 strikes. Base is empty in the Atlanta 8th. The Rockies will have their 4, 5, 6 hitters up in the 9th. And a swing and a miss. Matt Olson is retired in a very impressive inning for Mr. Bird. To the 9th we go. Braves try to close out Colorado.
Baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Delta Airlines. Keep climbing. And by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Riley Acuna with homers tonight for the Braves. Kyle Wright, A.J. Minter terrific on the mound. Now Kenley Jansen looks for the save. If he gets it, Jeff, it'll be his 8th big league season with 30 or more saves.
Well, before that blowing save in St. Louis, he had been on a nice little run. 8 consecutive scoreless. We saw A.J. Minter throw a beautiful 8th inning. Hopefully Kenley, the same way, has been waiting to get out for this opportunity since Saturday night.
Look, things didn't work out well for Kenley in St. Louis. You know what you love about Kenley? He's a pro's pro. Didn't hide, stood in front of the media, answered the question, said, I had a bad night.
Yep.
And he has not had many of them this year in relief for the Braves. He'll face Cron, Iglesias, and Grichuk. The Braves protecting a 3-0 lead. That ball backed up, but called a strike. A couple of scouts that I've talked to said the issue for Kenley right now has been he's been up in the zone and the cutter just isn't quite as crisp as he would like it.
Yeah.
High fly ball toward left. That is playable for Heredia. 3 steps away from the wall. There's out number 1 in the 9th inning.
Well, he's most effective, Chip, when that cutter's coming down in the zone. Then he can put you away with that fastball cutter up in the zone. Problem for him is, as you said, he's been kind of living that in that high area. And guys are kind of getting on top of it right now.
But Cron retired quickly. Here's Iglesias. Poked foul in front of the Colorado dugout. Strike 1. Iglesias is 0 for 3 tonight after a 2-hit game in game 1. There's a better pitch right off his knuckles. A slider, a sinker. Now we'll see what Kenley gives him. Ahead in the count 0-2.
Well, that sinker was on kind of the plate close to the white lines. The ones we saw in St. Louis the other day way in off the plate.
Braves try to put a nice neat bow on an 18-win 10-loss August. And we hope to talk about that with you on Braves Live postgame. That is coming up after Jansen gets 2 more outs. Swing and a miss. 2 outs.
There you go.
It sounds so simple, but it's really true. Starter, middle relief, closer, especially the guys in the ninth inning, you got to throw strikes, and Kenley's doing that tonight.
Well, and that one missed location a little bit, trying to go away, but it was down in the zone, so you got the effect, what you wanted.
All 6 pitches have been strikes.
Yep.
And he's got 2 quick outs for Randal Grichuk, who picked up an infield hit. To highlight his night offensively, he made a diving catch in center as well. Kenley 1 out away from his 8th season of 30 or more saves. This man's had a remarkable career. Always dreamed of playing for the Braves growing up in Curacao, and now here he is pitching for the defending world champions and trying to make Kyle Wright the winningest pitcher in the major leagues this year.
Well, when you put a blueprint of how you want a baseball game to go from a pitching standpoint, so far tonight, this has been perfect. Kyle Wright, 7 innings, kind of on cruise control. A.J. Minter, dominant 8th inning. And now Kenley 1 out away from a perfect 9th inning.
And the 8th shutout for the Braves pitching staff this year. The pitch is high. 3 balls and a strike for Grichuk. Michael Tolio waits on deck. He's got a hit tonight. We'd like to see him tomorrow.
From the outfield.
Correct. Bleacher game tomorrow. So now Jansen's a strike away. $29,554 the official attendance this evening. Braves over 2.6 million for the season. Everybody up with a 3-2 pitch. Miss low. C.B. Buckner has not given that pitch all that often. It was close. He had the plate, but it appeared a touch low.
Well, and what hurts is Contreras was giving the target up in the zone. So when you're sitting there behind and that target's up and all of a sudden you reach way down, pitch looks worse than it is.
I wonder how many times Michael Toglia dreamed of facing Kenley Jansen as a youngster. Well, here he is in his 2nd big league game, looking for his 2nd big league hit. The Braves concede the base at 2nd as this ball is hammered a mile high to right. And that one is not coming back. A 2-run homer. First major league homer on the first pitch. I think it's safe to say that dream came true for Michael Toglia.
Yeah. Again, we're going to take a look at this, but I guarantee it comes down to location. And that's center cut. It didn't get out of here by much, but it did.
So Sean Bouchard, the batter. The Braves now have a 1-run lead. That kid earns a big smile and a handshake. First big league homer, first 2 big league hits tonight. but his Rockies are still down a run. And all this trouble with 2 outs.
You still got to find a way to get this last out. Even though you gave up the 2-run homer, you still got a 1-run lead.
Three and 0. Deep fly ball to left, a strikeout of Iglesias, a walk and a homer, and now a 3-0 count for the Rockies' 8th place hitter. Called a strike.
Yeah.
But up in the zone. 3-1. The catcher, Servin, is on deck. Whoa. Thank you. 3-2. Sometimes you just got to let it fly.
Yeah,
let's see what Jansen does here. Sharply hit. Dansby's got it from a knee. Throws to first, and Olsen the scoop. And that is your ball game. Career save number 380 for Kenley Jansen. Good for 9th all time. His 30th of the season, not without some drama, but at the end of the day, it's a Braves win. 3-2, Jeff, your final.
You know what? We had Will Smith last year. We had quite a bit of drama sometimes in the ninth, and that turned out all right. But big hit by that man right there, Ronald Acuna. Austin Riley, the huge 2-run homer early. And, of course, Kyle Wright, to me, the story tonight, Chip. He was outstanding. 7 innings, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, was in complete control. And now leads with 17 wins.
Pretty amazing. Kyle Wright, 17-5. Kenley Jansen save number 30. The Braves beat the Rockies 3-2 and stay 3 behind the Mets, with the 3rd final and rubber game of this 3-game series coming your way tomorrow night. Our coverage starts at 6:30 on Valley Sports South as we join you from the bleachers with Braves legend Brian McCann joining Jeff and me here.
It'll be a good time.
We're going to have a blast, and hopefully we'll see a series win. We'll talk about a Game 2 victory for the Braves on Braves Live. That's presented by Xfinity next. Jeff, enjoyed it. We'll see you tomorrow night.